Hey, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to today's video. Firstly, I hope you've all been keeping well and staying safe during these turbulent times. Now remember, we've all we've got, so be sure to look after one another. Okay, so today is Sunday, the 22nd of November 2020, and usually on a Sunday at the end of the week, I actually go through and use this bad boy. This is, this bad boy. This is my journal, and within my journal, I go through reflections. I go through how the last week has gone, the wins, the losses, hey titty, and yeah, just going through my thoughts and sort of decrypting them. And what I mean by that is I would either have some notes that I've set up either, again, in here or on my phone, just some one-liners, and then I just go through and just go a little bit deeper, dive a little bit deeper into that note and sort of just get a little bit more sort of context from it. Try to elaborate a little bit more on what I meant by that, and most often than not, going through that just allows me to free up a lot more space in my head, but more understand the concept that I wanted to learn or go through from that sort of phrase. So I'm sure not only myself, but you guys have a frantic week, a week where you just go, and try and get as much done as you can in that 24-hour period. But most often than not, what we don't do is we go back and reflect. Reflection is something I never used to do whilst growing up. I would just always be in the front of my mind, the future. Always futuristic, always trying to think of what are the next steps ahead, what do I need to do to achieve the next certain goal. And rarely did I go back and go, well, okay, so that happened. Why did that happen? And usually when you do reflect, again, this is a different concept than staying in the past and sort of probably being sort of set in that specific way on, just staying in that space. Whereas reflection allows you to review, go through it, that particular scenario, situation, and try to get as much nuggets as you can from it. Nuggets that you can take away and use the next time around that you sort of go through that situation. So again, what's coming out of my mind is sort of what I can throw towards you guys, and not necessarily give you deep dive, sort of how do I journal, what I journal per se, but it's just more giving you guys those concepts so you can take away and sort of go over yourself and make your own. Because I feel like whenever you can do that, grab a concept and run with it, and not necessarily go step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3. No, identify a concept, use it yourself, apply your own sort of flavor towards it, and come up with your own sort of thing that you do. So again, in this instance, the way I journal, or the reasons why I journal, is allow me to reflect, and not only reflect, but also be grateful for what has happened in the past. Because again, we always get sort of distracted on what is in front of us, where in fact we should only have sort of where we're going in front of us, but always staying present and always understanding that the only thing that you can control is what's in front of you right now. But yeah, using the past, using the reflection, using journaling has allowed me to do that. Now, do you always have to use this? I used to be a big proponent for apps on your phone and even typing away, but I've also learned the lesson that there is a connection between physical process of writing on a book and as well reading at the same time. So I'm assuming that you could probably use more focus and more attention towards said task, rather than, if you are on a laptop, if you're on your mobile and you have notifications come through. Granted, I don't have notifications. I just think that that's the bane of anyone's sort of existence, purely because you get distracted from what you're focusing in on at the time. But yeah, usually journaling is a lot better to retain and also indent what you're trying to do, or the core intention of what you're trying to do within this book here. So yeah, that was a lesson I learned. I used to always be big about my mobile, my laptop, but not anymore. But looking around for it where it's actually behind me. So I've adopted the journaling process, and I've just been doing that for well over a year now. Basically, it's ever since, to be fair, I've been doing it for quite a long time, but I've just been on and off, been probably more consistent over the last year. So that is the importance of journaling. Also, what I do on a Sunday is I go through from a logical perspective, what tasks need to be done moving forward. So whether it be my short-term week goals, whether it be the monthly goals, whether it be the yearly goals, quarterly goals, whatever, to sort of go through it just revise it. Don't spend too much time into it, and just sort of reaffirm to myself, what are we doing for this week? What's the objective for the long term? What's the sort of process over the next quarter? And by doing that, it just reaffirms certain things that you may have lost throughout the week, throughout the frantic, business week that I guess we all have, but also, just remind you that, hey, you are working towards a bigger goal. If there is an issue, or if you do sort of find yourself narrow into a specific task, sort of pulls you back out and goes, oh, okay, that's what I'm meant to be focusing on. Am I on the right track? If I'm not, okay, I'm deviating off the path. Come back and sort of stay on alignment with that North Star. So that's sort of the review process. And last but not least, on a Sunday, planning the week ahead. So Sam Ovens, who one of my mentors, he always speaks about planning ahead, plan tomorrow today. And that's pretty cool. Again, because you see what you want to achieve the following day. So I do go on and off on it. And usually when I find myself off it, I start to deviate away from the North Star that is set. But again, once you plan tomorrow today, and once you go through, just the tasks that need to be done that week, it gives you that sense of comfort or sense of ease, knowing what is ahead, or at least to your best of your ability, know what's ahead. And if there's anything that comes in and you need to play sort of what's in front and change and pivot, then so be it. But you also know where you need to get to by the end of the week. Anyway, that's today's video. Hope you guys sort of get some concept from it. The importance of journaling, what to use to journal. I won't go into how to journal, the details of journaling. That could be probably for another video, but again, this video here is just to showcase what I do on a Sunday, why it's so important, and how I set up the following week. Anyway, hope you guys are well. Enjoy the week ahead, and no doubt I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.